No answer also. Group 3, can you see the list of people who are in? Yes or no? Hello? Anybody in? I thought we have 20.
Yes, one.
Your group, what group are you?
Group 2, we have 2 people now.
We have 2 people in your group. Your group 2, is it? Okay. Yes. 2 people can still work. Some more? Who else? Group 3? Yes, can see the list. Okay, good. Okay, group 6 ada 3 people. Okay, good. Group 5. Group 5 ada 3/4.
Yeah, 3 out of 4.
3 or 4, you're not sure.
3 out of 4.
Oh,
That
okay. Okay, I get it now. All right, 3 out of 4. So now we have group 2, we have group 6, we have group 5. Group 1, no news yet. Okay, group 1, no news yet. Group 2 sudah. Group 2 belum lagi. Lai Sok Ling, your what group? Group 1, okay, group 1, okay. You have people in your group already?
No.
No. So you're alone. Okay, group.
Oh, I got one friend with me.
So 2 of you lah. Okay.
Yeah.
2 out of 4.
Yes, out of 5.
Out of 5. Okay. So group 1, okay. Group 2, okay. Group 3. Group 3.
Yes.
Okay, group 3. How many in your group?
3.
Oh, very good.
Out of 4.
Very good. Group 3 is good. Group 4.
Present, madam. We have 4 out of 5.
Very
and
good.
one of our members is trying to enter, madam. She had internet problems just now.
Who is it?
Fazliana. She had a bit of
She-
internet problems earlier.
But it's okay. It's okay. If she's coming in, then tell her to hold on. Because I'm going to tell you all to log off and give you 20 minutes to work. So don't worry about coming in. Just keep in contact with you. Can come in for the next session. Let her sort out her internet. Okay. Okay. We're group 3, group 4. You're group 4, right? So group 5 and 6. Group 7. How many of you? Group 7. Tak ada. Nobody in group 7. Ada? If you can, you have problem with your sound system, you just put in the chat. Okay? Group 7. Huh?
I think Ligwen salah. Ligwen group 7, I group 6.
So you're group 6. Okay.
Group 6 ada 2.
Group 6
People.
ada 2. 3, ada 3. I got 6. I got 5, 6, 7 dengan 8 belum.
Okay.
If you cannot share, if you have your sound system problem, just put in the chat. How many in your group that you have now? 7 and 8. I need to know. Seven and 8.
Group 8 has 2 people
2 out of 4, is it?
out of 5.
Out of 5. Okay. Group 7.
3 people.
Oh, group 7 got 2. Then group 8.
Group 7, 3.
Okay, group 7, you have 2 out of 4. Group 8,
2.
2 also. Okay, so at least you have representatives. Okay, so I'm going to give out the work, what question you have to do. Okay, now for question 1, group 5, you do question 1 with group 8. Okay, so there'll be 2 presentation. You combine all your thoughts into one and do a presentation. Okay, so this is group 1. Sorry, question 1. Then question 2 will be group 6 and group 3. Okay, you got it?
Question 2, right?
Yeah. So question 3, A and B. Okay, 3A and B is group 4 and group 7. Now C will be group 1 and group 2. Okay, got it? So you all go into your group discussions, because I think you have your WhatsApp group or whatever for your group. You go into your group discussion, you combine, and you come back in 20 minutes time. Okay, so we will break off now. Okay, we will break off now and come back in 20 minutes time. Then we will do the presentation. So I give about 3 minutes to come in. So if you have some internet problem or whatever, try to solve it while within the 20 minutes also. Okay? All right. Everybody understand, yeah? Yes?
I think so. So we can go out, right? Go out now, right?
Okay, so I catch up with you in 20 minutes time. So that will be 11:35. Okay, so see you 11:35. Bye. Okay, question 1. Hi, everybody. Question 1 is group 5 and 8. How many of you already in? It's only 12. Okay. Hi, can everybody hear me? Okay, we're only 18. Hi. Group 5, are you ready?
Yes, madam.
How many of you in your group?
We have 4 now.
Oh, okay, that's good. Group 8,
We have 2.
you have 2. Are you ready to present?
We combine together with group 5.
You work together with group 5.
Yeah.
You must present also. Okay.
Because we wrote in the same document.
Right?
We wrote in the same document.
Group 5 and group 8.
Yeah.
So now a combination of 5 and 8 instead of only 5. That is not what I asked for. No, 8 you have to do your own. Okay. So either the 2 groups split. Okay. Sorry, we don't. I'm going to open the share. Okay, group 5, can you start, please? Group 5, are you ready? Can share or not? Can share screen. Okay. All right.
So this is our answer.
You present lah.
All right. The question asked us to list the clause similar between the standard and the
Yeah,
law
what
of
are the clauses?
agency. Actually, this one is not a clause lah. The clause starts
Never
from
mind.
here.
It's okay. Tak apa. As long as it's a similarity. Both of them specify duties of the estate agent in property. No, that is not so. Both of them specify duties of agents. Okay. And not in property transaction. In any kind of business. The agency law is general. you can get someone to be an agent for you to buy stuff overseas, for example. Okay, or an agent to find husband or wife. Okay, so it's very general, whereas our standard is specific. Okay, go on to the next one. Present the next one.
I think we have misunderstood the question because I thought the law of agency is referred to estate agent only. So all of our answer we written
No.
is estate agent.
Law of agency is under the law of contract. It has nothing to do with estate agency.
So I think we need to delete all this.
No, it's okay. The good faith and safeguard the interest of the client. Yes. That is in both, correct? Go on to the next one. As long as you don't say that, okay. My question is, yes, you're looking at estate agency, okay? But you see how the law of agency applies and the standard. I want to show you that both are similar, but the standard is even more detailed. Whereas agency is general because it is for general usage. Okay, carry on to the next one.
The next one, the estate agent must act within the law. So
Yeah.
for example, they should not make secret profits such as bribes, secret commissions, or accept any financial advantages when performing their duties.
Okay, stop. First of all, you delete all the agents, all the estate agents. So you say in both, they specify that the agent must act in good faith. Yes. Kan? And safeguard the interests of their clients. Yes. The second one is the agent must act within the law. Okay, both specify, right? Law of agency as well as the standards. They should not make secret profits. Okay, secret profit is another one. Okay, is D. So, but what actually I want you to do is I want you to look at the agency and then you also bring out what is the standard that refers to that. Okay, but your points are there. Okay, go on.
So E, the agents must be professional while providing their services and carrying out the instructions.
Very general, that one. Professional. I don't think there's anywhere in the law of agency mentioning that they must be professional. Is there?
There is one statement in the lecture note stating that the agents must utilize their skills while providing services.
I see. Okay, okay. You should bring that in. This is why it's difficult to know what you're talking about when you generalize like this. So what I want is, this is law of agency, this is standards, and this is the similar one. You get what I mean? Okay, but never mind. Go to F. I hope group 8 can give a better answer.
F, the agents should keep and maintain the client's account.
It does not say in law of agency. It just says that it has to be kept separate. And that is the one that you highlight. Right? The client's money must be separate from the, it cannot be, how do you say? It cannot be mixed with the agent's money, something like that. I can't remember the exact words, but that portion, it doesn't mention client's account. You can mention it when it talks about standard. Yes. You get the exact word for the law of agency. Which the law, the standard also says that the client's money cannot be mixed with the agent's money. So you have to extract that portion and put the two together, then you explain. That's the way I expect the answer to be. Okay, what's below ni? Law of agency is general. Okay, that's nothing. Is that all your answer? There's a lot
That's
more.
all.
Okay,
I-
group 8. Thank you. Group
Thank
8.
you.
You know what I want, right? When you have something like this where you need to compare two things, you have to put both side by side. You cannot just list like that, because then it gets misunderstood. Then when you put side by side, then you can have your comment. Okay? How you would interpret this to be similar. Okay, group 8.
Okay, so for ours, because we did it together with group 5,
That is
So
not what I
it's-
asked. Huh?
it's quite similar. And
Similar, but I'm sure there's some that is different. Okay,
so,
but
so
you
the first
the first. Okay, carry on.
So the first one is about the appropriate office that's mentioned in standard 1 in the
I don't think there is in agency. Because in agency, the agent doesn't need to have an office. Okay,
then that must be a bit of a
that is wrong. Okay, go to the next one.
okay. So the second one is about the fees that
Okay.
the agent is able to claim fees. So in the MEAS is standard 4.
In the agency,
Law of agency. Can't find it now.
yeah, but there is a point where they can claim they can deduct from the client's money their fees and also this reimbursements, right?
Yeah.
There's something like that in the agency.
And then the next one is about not bringing
You can't find
the-
find what I'm saying. You find and copy and paste it here. Okay, we need a little bit faster. Okay, never mind. You can do that later and send it to me. Do the next one.
So the next one is it's about public statements that will not bring the profession into disrepute.
Where is that in the agency law? Is there anything like that in agency law? Where did you get this to be similar? Tak ada kan? Ada tak? Tak ada, because the law of agency is looking at an agent in general. So not all businesses needs advertisement. So this is wrong. Okay, you will get a 0 for this if this comes out in exam. Okay, next one.
This one is I think the one where they talk about the agent is entitled to deduct any sum owed to the agent in respect of the advances made. This one.
Oh, we're going up. Agent to claim. Yeah. Okay, we're done with that.
Alright, so then this one is about so for this principal agent relationship where they have to exercise care and diligence in carrying out their work. So this one, if
This
we
is in
see,
agency, right? Okay, where is it in the standards?
it's in standard 3.
Okay, the duty of care, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, you have some points, both groups, but you didn't put it nicely. That's why when I ask you questions, you cannot answer. First of all, you all must understand, law of agency is agents in general. So it's not talking about estate agents. The Malaysian estate agency standards is solely for estate agents, which is why it's got more than what is in the law of agency. You see, in the law of agency, anybody can be an agent. Remember, I said that anybody can be an agent. Whereas in the Malaysian standards, estate agency standards, you have to be of sound mind. You have to be the age of majority. You cannot be a bankrupt and so on. So there are certain qualifications before you can be an estate agent. So this already you can see difference. Okay. The agency deals with all kinds of businesses. This is why they don't say professional as what we say, or what they say is to do your work in accordance to the business. So it can be any kind of business. Yeah. I can appoint an agent to find me a painting. Okay, one expensive painting. So anyone can go. I know that he has some contacts, so he may be just a minor, but because of his contact, I can appoint him, I can pay him the fees. Whereas in estate agency, I cannot appoint anyone who is not a registered estate agent. So this is where the difference is. But the Malaysian estate agency standards takes into account the law of agency, because we have to go by the law. Law of agency is under law of contract, but we have others to make our standards even more of a high quality professional. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Especially I'm asking group 8 and group 8 and group 5. Okay, I will give you 50% out of 100. I can tell you that, because you didn't give me both sides of the aspect that I want. When you have something like this, you must put in both. Because when you want to compare, you cannot compare by just looking at one. You must look at both for you to compare. Do you understand? If a question like this comes out in exam, if I give 10 marks for this, you only get 5 marks if you're lucky. But looking at group 8, maybe group 8 get less than 5. Okay? So you all, I know, don't take it seriously. This is a tutorial, but the whole idea of tutorial is for you to be able to think so that when you are answering questions in the exam, you know what I'm trying to get from you. We're not in any exam, we're not out to fail you. We want to pass you. But you have to give the right answer in the right way. Okay, we go to the next question. Sorry, I need a drink. So we don't have much time. We have just now 35. 25. We have 10 minutes. Okay. If we get cut off, give a break of 5 minutes, then you all come in. Okay, for the next question, can we have group 3? Is everybody in your group 3? And group 6? Is all in
Yes.
your group? Okay. Your group what?
Group 3.
Okay, group 6? Group 6, are you there? Group
Yes,
6?
yes. Yes.
Okay. Are you all in?
No.
How many of you?
2. Only 2.
Only 2. But you have done the work?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go to group 6 first. So the question, come. You don't have much time. Oh, how to read this? You have A. You have 2, right? The vendor, responsibilities of the vendor, responsibilities of the purchaser. So where do you, ayo, I cannot read this. This is just copy paste or what? I just need a listing, that's all. List the responsibilities. Don't give me an essay. Law of contract is the law that relates to. I'm talking about the responsibilities of the vendor and the purchaser. I'm not asking you to give me the law of contract. So under the SPA, what are the responsibilities of the vendor and the purchaser? Okay, I tell you what, let's have a look at group 3. Group 6, please make it something that is understandable. Okay? Let's look at group 3. Cancel this. I don't want to read a long essay. Or where is your answer? Is this your answer? A and B? I don't know. Okay, cancel this, please. Okay, group 2. Okay. Sorry, group 2 plus group 3. Okay. What do I call it? New or League 1? League 1. You ready to present? Oh, yo.
Yes. Yeah, yo.
Okay. All right, start. I see only group 3 here. Okay.
So the question is based on our understanding of the law of contract and how it relates to the sales and purchase agreement. So have to list the responsibility of the vendor and the purchaser in the SPA. So the responsibility of the vendor in SPA, the first one, the vendor has to provide accurate property description. I think with the correct postal address and the legal description in the stated in the SPA.
Yes, good.
And then the second point, the vendor shall provide the purchase price as agreed in the offer of letter.
Why is the vendor providing the purchase price? Who's paying for the property? Is it the vendor or is it the purchaser?
The purchaser.
The purchaser.
The purchaser, but the vendor shall mention the price clearly in the SPA.
Okay, first of all, who prepares the SPA? Is it the responsibility of the vendor or the responsibility of the purchaser?
Maybe both.
No. Whose responsibility to get the lawyer and to prepare the SPA?
Vendor.
No, it's the purchaser. Okay, so this has to be out. This is wrong. Next.
So the third one is the vendor shall deliver all the documentations for transfer within the time frame.
Okay, yes, correct. So all the title and all that, yeah, deliver. Okay, within, correct. Then lagi.
And then the vendor shall deliver the property in the same condition as upon inspection date of the purchaser.
Good, good, good. Yes, this is the way I want the answer to be. Lagi, carry on.
Like a bit, sorry. Okay. So continue the responsibility. So the vendor shall hand over the building in a fit condition for occupation, complete with the water and electricity connections.
Okay, the water, electricity only if it's from the developer. Okay, if it is a second sale, that means buying from an individual, then the water and electricity should already be there, and it will be the new purchaser who will have to just register themselves with the NB and so on. So the fit condition will be in terms of the condition as is and in the legal aspect of it. That means the title and so on. Okay. Okay, next one.
The vendor shall own the property or has the legal authority to deal with the property.
Shall own, the vendor shall own the property or has legal authority. Okay.
And then the last.
I think here you mean is not that he has legal authority, but he has a clean title that is transferable. That means kalau ada caveat apa semua dia kena make sure that it's lifted. Okay?
Okay. Later we'll amend.
Yeah, you amend it.
And then the last one, the vendor shall pay the purchaser if there is any defect in the property during that defect liability period. in the developer side.
Yes, that is for only the developer. So you take note of that. Okay. So with the developer, there is a liability period. But with the individual, the second sale, it is just the way that when they first view it, or when they the last that they view the property, as is. Okay, that is what the property has to be, and that is his responsible. But you already said this earlier, isn't it? Previous to that, never mind. Go on. You have a look. It could be a repetition.
Okay.
Lagi?
So proceed to the purchaser, the responsibility of purchaser in SPA. So the first one, the purchaser shall pay 10% of sales price as the earnest deposit upon signing the SPA.
Okay, the 10% is not an earnest deposit. The 10% is just the deposit, because the earnest deposit is the one that's paid with your letter offer and acceptance. Okay, and it's normally around 3%. Okay, carry on.
And then the second one, the purchaser shall carry out the proper inspection of property before signing SPA. Meaning that because the vendor will call purchaser the vendor shall make sure the purchaser done the proper inspection. So the purchaser shall like really carry out the proper inspection during the before signing SPA.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Good.
And then the last one, the purchaser has to pay the purchase price, the total purchase price that has been agreed upon.
Yes, that's the main. Yeah. Okay. Now, the other group. Thank you very much. This is the way I want the answer to be. That means you discuss on the purchaser and you discuss on the vendor. Okay? Because in this one, there's no comparison. It's just listing. So I don't want to hear a long story. I just want you to list 1, 2, 3. Then I can, when I do my marking, I say, okay, this is correct, this is not correct. Or I might give, okay, partially correct. Okay? But you give me a long essay, I get bored, I just give you incorrect for everything. Okay, can we go on to the other group, please? Have you sort out what the answer is for yours? Group 6. We have 6 minutes.
Yes, we are.
Okay, quick. Okay. Yes, this is more like it. All right. All your long essay, you only come up with 2 and 2 here. Okay, never mind. You want to present? Alia?
Okay. Yes. So the responsibility of the vendor has to hand over the property to the purchaser according to the handing over time and manner stated in the SPA. Next, the vendor also has to ensure that the property delivered is in the condition as stated in the SPA.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Okay, so the purchaser has to pay down payment when signing the SPA. The purchaser also has to ensure that he pays the balance of the full payment to the vendor according to the mode of payment stated in the SPA.
Very good. Okay, good, good. So the 2 of you combined, you have almost complete answer. Okay, your group 6 and group 3, you combine your answers, but some of them are repetition, no doubt. Yeah, but group 3 has got a lot more points, but when you combine, you will get a good point, because what you have stated is the way that group 6 has stated is good, like the purchaser ensure that he pays full payment according to the mode of payment, and the vendor has to ensure that the property delivered according to the SPA. Whereas group 6, you mentioned a lot more on the developer side. So when you combine the two, you say, okay, for developer and for second sale. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? What do you see?
Yes.
Yes.
So very good answer, both of you. Please combine the two and share. I don't know whether you have shared the previous apa tak, because I don't see the previous tutorial. Did you share it?
Yes.
Okay, so this one I want you to combine. Okay. Okay, let's look at the whole thing about SPA. SPA is the agreement for the sale of a property between the vendor and the purchaser, right? We all understand that, right? So when you talk about responsibilities, number one, definitely purchaser is to make sure that he pays. Okay, there is okay, start from the beginning. It is the responsibility of the purchaser to prepare the SPA. Okay, it's not the vendor, but the vendor's responsibility is to make sure that he gives all the documents, and he has to make sure that all the title is transferable. So tak ada caveat, tak ada any kind of restriction that makes it not transferable. But if there is a loan, it's okay, because that is between bank to bank, they will sort it out. And during the between lawyer to lawyer, they will sort it out, okay, with the banks. So what is important, it must be a clean title that can be transferable. And also making sure that all the people concerned in the title agrees to the transfer and will sign the MOT, okay, Memorandum of Transfer. Okay, so give a clean title. And what you all said, to deliver the property in accordance to the SPA. If developer will also be in accordance with the SPA, which will be fit for occupation with electricity, water, and the title also a clear title. Okay, that will be their responsibility. Okay, the vendor, the purchaser is to pay. Okay, hold on. So okay, we are off already. So I think we end and come in again in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. Next is group 4 and group 7. Okay. Group 4, how many in your group now?
4 out of 5.
Good. Group 7? Group 7, how many in your group now? Group 7? Anybody in group 7?
So far, 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Huh? Okay. We wait 1 more minute. Huh? So group 4, you prepare to make the first presentation, okay?
Madam, can you see
Sorry? I already put multiple sharing kan?
can you see the screen?
Okay, yes. I can see
Yeah,
the
can
screen.
you see my screen?
Your what?
So question 3 asks, we're
Okay,
answering question 3A and 3B.
okay. So first we have to say, how does it become invalid for letter of appointment? You understand? Hello? Are you all there?
Yes, madam. I think internet crashed, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I can see your screen. I can see.
All right, then I'll just present in place of her, madam.
Okay, carry on, Chira.
So for the letter of appointment, it becomes invalid if, first of all, the client had previously signed an exclusive or sole agency with other agents. Right. The terms of contract must not be vague and ambiguous. For instance, the lease term must be clearly stated as 10 years instead of something like a reasonable amount of time or for as long as possible. The subject property must be clearly and specifically identified in terms of the address and in terms of the address and all that must be clearly and specifically identified. The client that signs it must be it's void if the client that signs it is below 18 years of age, is not of sound mind, or is bankrupt. And it's also void if the fees are not following as what is prescribed in the seventh schedule. For instance, if it's 4% or 5%. So the letter of appointment becomes void. So in terms of the letter of offer and acceptance, if the offeree withdraws his or her offer, the letter will become void. The terms of the offer must be clearly stated. Oh, sorry, this is the lease, like for instance, the price must be clearly stated or the terms of lease. The terms of lease is for this one. And furthermore, we appoint.
I only see 2 points here.
Yeah.
Can we do one at a time? Okay, we do this one later. Okay. Wait a minute.
This is for 3B. We only have those 2 points for 3B.
Okay, the 2 points. I'll put it out again. Somehow it disappeared.
1 second, madam. Can you see my screen, madam?
No, cannot. This is okay.
Yeah, so these are the, can you see my screen, madam?
Okay, Sunday it looks different. Okay.
Because I'm on phone. Shira was on laptop just now.
Oh, okay. So Offery, yeah, she had some problem, is it?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, Offery withdraws his or her offer. And the terms of the offer must be clearly stated. Okay. Let's go to the top. First of all, we're looking at the letter of appointment. This is where the client appoints the agent. Okay.
Yep.
So when you say not vague and ambiguous, your example was lease for 10 years.
Yeah,
What-
I made a mistake there, madam. It was the terms were supposed to be regarding, for instance, the amount of commission, the rate of fees. It cannot be like 3% or 3.5%.
Yeah, okay. So it's not, because what is essential in the letter of appointment first is what is he appointed for? That must be clear. Is it for sale? Is it for lease or for both? Okay. And what must be clear is, yes, what are the fees? But what the client wants you to do, it can be, oh, give me find me a purchaser who pay anything within this range. So that is okay. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not the material or the important aspect of the letter of appointment. So the important aspect of the appointment must be very clear. Like, who is your client? What is the property? Yes. You cannot say, oh, the property somewhere along this. No, it must be clear. Yes. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, must be properly identified, which has been said again. Yeah, the person signing, both parties must be of age that they can sign, or of sound mind, or not a bankrupt. Okay. The exclusive thing is correct. Now, fees not following the 7th schedule, because this is an agreement between client and agent. Okay, they can put any fees. Okay, the only thing, it doesn't make the letter of appointment invalid when they put more than 7%, but he is doing something that's against the law. Get what I mean? So it's not that the letter of appointment is invalid. So they can put any fees, but in the 7th schedule, it is the maximum fee. That means they can put any fee below that. Okay? But it must be clear what the fee is. Okay, good. Can we go on to the next group, please? Yeah, come on. Just now was group 4. No? Okay, good.
One, we are group 7.
Okay, group 7. Now,
Yeah, so
let's
this is our
okay, can you present it, please?
yeah, this is our discussion on the agreements to be invalid. So for first and foremost, for the letter of appointment, if no proper instruction is written expressly on the letter of appointment, like it's not precise and too ambiguous, then we'll invalid the letter of appointment. No specific term and condition, like the appointer is who is going to be appointed to do what, for how long, something like that, etc. As well as no clearly state out the intention of the appointment. For example, no specifically mention that, okay, I appoint you on behalf of me to carry out, to do the listing, to find the tenant, something like that. So this is some reason that SMAC letter of appointment to be invalid for the first one. And second one is about the letter of offer and acceptance. So this one is like two ways documentation, two ways agreement. One must have provide offer, another one must accept offer, only valid. So have to have clear intention between the both parties. Otherwise, the letter of offer and acceptance will be invalid. Like the clear intention is setting out what I will give you and in what I want to you provide me what. The return and the service are something like this. And secondly, no specific the deadline of the contract, which means like I require you to carry out the service for 3 months, something like that. If didn't mention, like they didn't provide any deadline, then the contract will be invalid. The last one is in the case where the deadline has been specific, but no consequence of breach of the contract has been mentioned of, will also invalid this document. Even though there is no consequence required by the appointer, by the either one parties lah, I will also have to expressfully written on the letter of offer and acceptance, like specifying no consequences, even the contract will not be fulfilled, something like that. So this is from our point of view.
Okay, let's go back to letter of appointment. So we talk about not precise and ambiguous. Okay, but when you're saying terms and conditions, there don't need to be any terms of condition, you know, so it doesn't invalidate it. It just makes it not clear to either party to what extent, but then it doesn't invalidate. When invalidate means it makes it illegal or not illegal. It cannot be enforced in by law. So if you are not happy, you want to go to court, the court says this is not valid to me. Okay, so whether they have specific terms or not is it doesn't invalidate. Okay, need clearly stated out intention of appointment. Yeah, the intention, yes, the intention that you want to have a binding contract. Okay, it has to be stated out that both. That means it cannot be something that doesn't sound like you have you want to make it a legal contract. Okay, so I feel that last sentence also need to be properly worded. Yeah. Now the second one, letter of offer acceptance, no clear intention between both parties. Yeah, we talk about intention again. So intention here, there must be a clear intention that both really wants to bind themselves with this contract. That means in terms of the price and whatever is the condition. Okay, so this is the clear intention to form a contract or to have a binding contract. Okay, no specific deadline. It does not say that you must have a deadline in a contract. Okay, but it doesn't invalidate it. Okay, it doesn't invalidate it, but it makes it to a point that it may not be clear if the thing can go on for a long time, because you want the transaction to be finished. So it does not invalidate, but you need the deadline because you want the transaction to come to or to be moving on lah. You know, if there is no deadline, because the deadline in the letter of offer and acceptance will be the time when you sign the SPA. The moment you sign the SPA, this letter of offer and acceptance becomes not useful anymore. It has run its purpose. Its purpose is to be the in-between contract. Yeah? So it does not invalidate if you don't have a specific deadline. because in it, the deadline is simply to prepare the sales and purchase so that this letter of offer doesn't, it's not upper. But it will not be fair to the parties lah. So neither would no consequence of the breach of contract. Okay, sorry. It doesn't invalidate, but the consequence, you can have a contract without any consequence whether you breach or not. Because there's no requirement for it, but you want to put the consequence because if that person does not do the work. So very clear is invalid means you cannot go to court and say this fella didn't do this. Okay, so the court will say, look, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have that. So you have to look into, under the law of contract, what entails a binding contract. Okay, so you talk about intention, you talk about, you know, the long list that I gave you, which you already studied. So you should be looking at that when it comes to the SPA, or sorry, when it comes to the letter of appointment and letter of offer acceptance. Yeah, so you have to look at what makes a binding contract and how can it become invalid. So you've got some points here, but possibly you can add some more. Okay?
Yes.
Understand? So
Yes,
you
understood.
got it, but maybe if the explanation is not so clear, so you try to work it out.
Okay.
But if I were to give you an exam question like this, I expect a little bit more explanation than just no proper instruction. You have to state how does it become invalid.
Yes.
Okay, understand?
Okay.
Good job,
Understood.
guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Guys, girls. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Now we go on to the last group. Now we focus on SPA. So group 1 and 2. Group 1, how many of you in the group?
2.
2. Group 2? How many in your group? 2. 2. Okay. So let's have group 1 first. We have 20 minutes. 15 minutes left, so we have to make it quick.
Hello.
Yes, okay, you can present.
For sale and purchase agreement invalid when agreement by mistake, which is the agreement was entered by mistake, and for example, the parties entered the contract with wrong or incorrect belief, and the mistaken item must be something material. For unilateral mistake, which means one party is mistaken, not really for error in business judgment. For mutual mistake is when both parties are mistaken about the same material fact within their contract, they are at cross purpose. Second, when agreement under coercion, undue influence, fraud, and agreement under misrepresentation. For agreement under misrepresentation, such as misstatement of a material fact to a contract, not a mere expression of opinion, innocently and believing it to be true, no desire to deceive the other party, induce the other party to enter into contract, and the other party must suffer a loss. That's all.
That's all. Okay, let's look at mistake. Mistake, it can be a valid contract if nobody wants to. They are willing to accept the mistake. Okay. Unilateral mistake where one party is mistaken. Okay. So in this case, if the vendor if the purchaser is mistaken as to what is being bought, but if he's willing to go on with the sale, so it still becomes valid. It only becomes void. The word is not, in this case, is we are looking at void and voidable. Okay, it only becomes void when the party says that this is a mistake and I don't want this. Okay, so this is, it doesn't make it invalid. Okay, even this mutual mistake, it doesn't make it invalid. It's voidable. Okay, you have to understand, when we say invalid means it cannot be enforced in law. Okay, it's not enforceable in law totally. Okay, so it's not voidable, it's not. So yes, coercion, undue, apa, okay, fraud and misrepresentation, this also will depend on the situation. So I don't want you to copy paste. I need you and need to explain with regards to SPA. So in SPA, in what way is there a coercion? In what way is there undue influence? Okay? Okay, because you're just listing and you're saying more or less the same thing without explaining what it is and how it relates to SPA. You're just giving me back my lecture notes. Okay, I don't need that. Okay, can we go on to the next group, please? This was group 1 or group 2? Wahida?
Group 1.
Group 1. Okay, can we go to group 2 now?
Okay, can see my slide.
Oh no, you're not giving me a long essay now.
Oh no, actually just 3 points here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to present.
Yeah. Here are the instances where the SPA is invalid. The first point is a party did not have the required mental capacity when signing the SPA, such as being under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Okay.
Okay, the next instance is when property is purchased from a developer by a person who then wants to sell it to a new buyer in the secondary market. Okay, so if the seller's name is not yet documented as the owner of the property, the subsequent SPA between the seller and the new buyer cannot take effect until the first ownership transfer between the person and the developer has been completed.
Okay. When it's with the developer, not all the time the title is out. So unless the owner have already signed, as long as there is an SPA between the seller, between the developer and the buyer, is okay. He can still transfer. You get what I mean? So in this case, you're saying that the seller have not actually signed an SPA with the developer. Is that what you're saying? Sok Ling, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the wording again and make sure it's that way. So you must understand when it comes to the developer, they don't transfer with the title. Okay, not all the time. So and normally because they don't build and sell, they sell and build. Okay, like other countries, most of them is they build and sell. In Malaysia is sell and build. So there was some issue about this. That means they do the selling before the property is built. Yeah. So there's I think everything is only based on the SPA. So before the property is built and the title is out, there can be transactions as long as they have a proper sales and purchase agreement, and normally you will need a deed of assignment for this. Okay. Okay. I think we will talk about the transfer process in detail in our last lecture. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But good. Next.
Next, last is when there is a restriction of interest on the property's title, which needs to consent of the state authority. The seller must first obtain that before she or he can proceed with the sale. Without obtaining the necessary consent, the signing of SPA previously between seller and buyers will then be valid, and the buyer is not obligated to continue to perform his or her contractual obligation, such as to pay for the purchase price.
Yeah. Okay, but in this case, it's not invalid. Okay, it doesn't make it invalid.
Oh, yeah, invalid. Sorry.
So the word is invalid, but it it's not that the agreement becomes invalid. It's just that it cannot be performed. Okay. Because of this, so it does not become invalid. It's still a valid contract. It's just that one of the condition was not met, and because the condition was not met, so the contract cannot be performed. So that's why there is no need to pay and so on. Okay.
Okay.
Is that all? Any more?
No, that's all.
That's all. Okay. You combine the two. Correct what is not correct. Okay. Because the question is invalid. Again, I will emphasize what you should be looking at is how a contract will be binding. Because when you talk about invalid, it's from the very beginning. So you talk about coercion, you talk about the incapacity of the person signing the title, and then you talk about intention, so all those things in a binding contract. Okay, you look through the lecture of mine in binding contract. You've studied law of contract, but I think the application of law of contract was not studied. So here, what we're doing is we're looking at the application of the law of contract. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. We've done everything. We're still in good time. Do you have any questions? Or do you have any comments about the other groups that did the presentation?
Madam, I have a question here.
Yeah.
How about if the transaction of the office building, there is a tenant on the site, and then should we remove all the restriction in interest?
Okay, in my lecture, I talk about vacant possession. Do you remember the lecture notes?
Yes.
Okay, so when you talk about tenant, you're talking about vacant possession. We're talking about sale, right? So during the sale, when you want to sign the SPA, the first thing you have to determine, are you selling with or without the tenant? So with or without vacant possession. Yeah. So in your SPA, you will put that in. So if the question is with vacant possession, means what? With vacant possession means what? With vacant possession. Vacant means what?
Zero, none.
Yes. So means no tenant, right? With vacant possession means you want the property to be vacant. Nobody possess it. If there's a tenant, somebody is possessing it, right? So if you don't want the tenant there, you have to put with vacant possession. So it is the vendor's duty to make sure that the tenant is have vacated the property. For as long as the property is not vacated, he cannot hand you over the property. So the final payment will not be made until the property is vacated. Okay. Now, if it says without vacant possession, that means the tenant will be part of the sale. Not the tenant will be part of the sale. That's not right. Sorry. That means you want there to be a tenant. You're quite okay with the tenant being there. But the only issue here is there must be a new agreement between the landlord and tenant, because now there's a new landlord. So if without vacant possession, there must be another action that must be made, which is to do a new agreement with the tenant, and with the same may or may not be the same terms and conditions. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, any other questions? Nurul, kosong. Apa ni kosong? Oh, we're talking about vacant possession tadi, eh? Okay. No more questions? Okay, you all want to go? We have 3 minutes more. If no more questions, then we can say goodbye till the next class. Okay. Now I don't have to give you the notes anymore. You just take it from Spectrum, yeah. So okay, see you next week. Bye.